Hello again, many thanks for joining us. Tonight, a mad rush for jobs as thousands of young people today thronged the Accra International Conference Center seeking for jobs. The conference center was the venue for the maiden edition of the Job and Career Fair organized by the Youth Employment Agency. Now, this comes just weeks after long queues were recorded when the Ghana Armed Forces called prospective personnel for screening. The unemployment rate in Ghana is pegged at 4.53%. But the Joy Research Desk breaks this down further for us, and we'll go on to our touchscreen to look at the breakdown of the figures. And so when you look at this, this is the unemployment rate in Ghana, the year 2012 to 2020. So in the year 2012, we had 5.93%. In the year 2013, it rose to 6.26%. In the year 2014, it rose to 6.52% and went up again in the year 2015 to 6.8%. But from 2015, you see a downward trend, moving down from 6.81 to 5.45 in the year 2016. It goes down further in the year 2017 to 4.22. There's a further drop from the year 2017 from 4.22 to 4.16. That's 4.16 in 2018. And then in 2019, a marginal drop from 4.16 to 4.12. And then in the year 2020, it goes up slightly. That's 4.53%. If you want to draw a trend line, you would see that it's been going downwards from the year 2015, but then goes up slightly in the year 2020, giving you 4.35. And this data is from the World Bank. Now, again, the World Bank breaks this down and says that if you're looking at unemployment as regards the youth, you have 12%. So 12% of the Ghanaian youth are unemployed. But then 50% of the workforce are underemployed. And so these are people who have jobs, but the jobs are not good enough or not making use of their skills or not meeting their financial needs. And so these are people, they are not working up to an optimum number of hours. So these are people who are underemployed, 50%. Now, these two rates, the World Bank says, are higher than the average in sub-Saharan Africa. And so for unemployment in the sub-Saharan Africa, the average is, for youth, the average is 10%. Ghana is recording 12%. So that makes it definitely higher. Now, we want to look at the youth linked to employment opportunities through government intervention. So these are people who are employed from the year 2015 all the way to a projection that is being made in the year 2023. So in 2015, you had 357,799 people being employed. Now, this reduces in the year 2016 to 91,696. We don't have record for the year 2017. We don't have data on that. But in 2018, you see that it goes up to 107,576 and then goes further to 455,040. That's in the year 2019. In the year 2020, this reduces. And if you look at the statistics I showed you earlier, you realize that this is consistent with it. So this reduces to 80,538 in the year 2020. But then you see a projection being made that by the year 2023, some more people would have gained jobs, and the projection is that 130,000 people would have been employed or would have access to employment opportunities by the year 2023. And so that is the data put together by the Joy Research Desk. And so the job fair today, organized by the YEA, is a platform that seeks to connect job seekers to employment avenues. We'll get into that shortly. But first, my colleague Justice Beidou caught up with some of the job seekers who attended the fair, hoping to get their dream jobs. They shared their stories and expectations in the following report.
The road in front of the conference center is busier than usual today, largely because of the number of young people using it. They are here to attend the job fair organized by the Youth Employment Authority, YEA.
They are all hoping to get a job. because thousands of people are out here searching for a job. So we are all hoping for the best. At the end of the day, we hope everybody will get wherever he or she belongs to. So many years now, if I'm not lying, about 6 years now, I'm in the house. It's not easy, but you are still managing. But as for today, we are all hoping for the best.
Harry Yao Adombo lost his job when the COVID-19 pandemic struck. A job, he says, was already underpaying him.
Look for a job. That's why I'm here. I now have a family of about 4 kids. Everybody depends on me. So you should know what really I'm going through. So it's only God. Because the 1,000 is my take home from the school. As I said, I do other things. Paying about 150 cedis for rent. My brother, the fact of the matter is that I've been trying to move out of this country, not today. It's rather unfortunate that if you go through my passport right now and see the kind of visas I have in my passport, you will be surprised. That has been my option all this while, because I've seen some sort of unfairness in the system.
What we are supposed to do is to make sure that the youth of Ghana have jobs. And that is exactly what we are doing. We have seen thousands of people come in so far.
Now, like many of the young people here today, he's hoping to get one that pays better. The job fair will be running for the next 2 days, and the YEA is hoping to fill 3,000 job slots which they say are available. But with the huge numbers that have trooped in here, it promises to be a big struggle to see those who will be lucky. Justice Beidou, Joy News, Accra.
Now, Director of Business Support and Policy at the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program at the Office of the President, Franklin Osu Kakari, says there are jobs in the system, but what is lacking is the skill gap, where job seekers lack the needed skills to thrive in the job market.
One of the serious challenges hampering organizations, and our duty as NEIP is to groom entrepreneurs, is to groom people to become job givers, employers like yourself who are seated here this morning. And as we work with them, the key challenge they face, for me, number one, is not money. Number one is human capital, human resource. A number of companies are struggling to get the right people in place. And that's why I keep saying that it is not that jobs are not in Ghana. Jobs there, but boys and girls no day. So this week, between today and tomorrow, our duty here is going to help these young people to appreciate what these enterprises and SMEs are doing and the challenges they face to getting the right people in place, for them to have a good mindset to take whoever's job they are on as their own businesses. And that is how you can be able to create your own. And that's what we are going to share with the young people to prepare them to be fit for your work and the kind of thing that they want to do. And we believe that through this, we'll live here having people who are entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs as well.
Well, speaking at the event, the Deputy Minister of Employment and Labour Relations, Bright Rekubobe, said government is not paying lip service to the unemployment situation.
Indeed, successive governments have all ridden on the back of youth unemployment in their quest to get power. The youth are always made to believe that their job problems will be solved when they vote us into power. But many a times, their hopes keep dying out, and the consequences for the ruling government is obvious. Conscious of this, we will all the time ensure that we work with employers to ensure that we give jobs to our youth. You will recall that under President Kufuor's regime was when this initiative, at the time it was called the National Youth Employment Program, that was when the idea was mooted. And it was because we were faced with a very high unemployment situation which we had to do something about immediately. Along the value chain, the NYEP became JIDA. And in 2015, thank God, we had an act that ushered in the YEA. Since this government came into power, we've given a facelift to YEA. YEA has developed the job center, which we've been talking about. They've also developed the artisanal directory, the work abroad program, and negotiated a number of regional flagship programs in addition to the traditional youth employment models.
Let's go to Zoom now and speak to the Director of Research and Planning at the YEA, Ejaya Winsia. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Joy News Prime. Now, clearly, this was heavily patronized, but did you anticipate the numbers that showed up today?
Right, thank you very much, and let me say a very good evening to your viewers. Obviously, we expected quite a lot of people to show up. We knew we had a very serious task of dealing with the numbers. What we put in place was that we had a registration set up where people could go online and register, and we had quite a lot of people registering. But then also people heard about it and also turned up at the Accra International Conference Center, so we could obviously not turn them away. But thankfully, we had in place the right crowd control measures. Let me express our appreciation to the Ghana Police for their help as well. What we saw at the fair tells us that we have a huge task as an agency in helping government resolve the youth unemployment challenge. And I am happy to report that as an agency, we are poised to in the coming years and days roll out measures to help the Ghanaian youth find the appropriate job.
Very
and also
well.
put in measures to ensure that there's a proper structure for those who are interested in entrepreneurship to also take off with their business ideas.
Can you give us a fair figure of the numbers that came today, at least per the numbers you have from your registration decks?
From our registration today, we registered over 3,000 people at the venue. But then this is just from the data that we have. But I'm sure as we end the event tomorrow, we'll be able to give a proper account of the numbers that did show up. So, as you can see, I'm in my car. I just left the venue. So continuing tomorrow. So I'll be able to give you further details.
So how exactly does the fair connect the thousands of unemployed people to the available jobs?
All right, thank you very much. I'm sure you are aware that in 2019 we launched the YEA Job Center, which was a virtual platform where employers with vacancies will post these jobs, and job seekers who are already registered on the platform will apply. So what has been happening is that these employers post jobs and then people apply. We had a number of them, but COVID-19 happened, so the vacancies dropped. But as businesses started to pick up, we had a lot of companies registering their interest and publishing their vacancies. So we decided that it would be very good for us to bring employers and job seekers onto one platform, that is the job fair, where they can engage. Some companies had a lot of vacancies, so you couldn't get all the job seekers applying online, and people were not also seeing these vacancies. So we felt that through the job fair, people will get to hear some of these vacancies and then apply for it at the fair. So at the fair, job seekers get to interact directly with some of these companies with jobs. Also, they get to know the requirements as well. Some companies also had on-site interviews. They interviewed the job seekers and shortlisted some of them, and the candidates that qualified will be reached out to at some point for further interviews, and an offer will be made. So the fair was just essentially to connect job seekers and employers and get them to interact
very well. But help us, what kind of jobs are available? What kind of jobs are we looking at here?
Today, all different jobs from different sectors. We had banking sector showing up today. We had jobs from the engineering. We had a company looking for mechanical engineers and electrical engineers. We had companies looking for plumbers. We had restaurants looking for caterers, waiters. We had sales jobs, administrative assistants. So I can say that we had all sectors of the economy showing up today, and different kind of vacancies also being advertised at the job fair.
And at the end of the fair, how many people are you looking to have jobs? How many people do you anticipate to be gainfully employed?
From our projections, and this projections is based on the number of companies that we spoke to. Okay. So in all, we were able to speak to close to 125 companies, and we gave priority to companies that had vacancies. So from the vacancies that were declared prior to the job fair, I can say that we are looking at close to 2,000, over 2,000 vacancies being filled, and 2,000 youth being connected to various levels of jobs through the job fair.
Thank you very much. That's Eja Yaw-Nsia, the Director of Research and Planning at the Youth Employment Agency, joining us on the job fair they organized today, which saw thousands of people throng the conference center. It continues tomorrow, and Joy News will be there. We'll bring you updates.